Yo, what's up guys, I'm Yanick from the Producer School, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a tech house remix of a song. I'm going to turn a track from this
You are my desire.
into this.
You are my desire.
I'm going over all the different steps of creating a tech house remix, but these techniques that I'll be using in this video can be applied to other genres as well. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and with that being said, let's create a tech house remix. All of the sounds that I'm using in this video come from our latest pack Dimension, which is the ultimate tech and minimal house producer pack, which contains presets, samples, vocals, project files and much more. And if you want to check out some of the sounds that I'm using here in this video, then go to the link in the description or go to our website theproducerschool.com, where you can find more information about the pack and support it. For this video, I will be remixing the new Calvin Harris track together with Sam Smith called Desire. I found a pretty good acapella online, and a acapella is the song with just the vocals only. There are a lot of tools nowadays online that can subtract the vocals from a song, especially with AI. There are some really nice tools on there. You can download the song you want to remix, put it in a vocal extractor, and then it will give you the vocals only, which is useful when creating a remix. And first of all, you want to set the BPM of your project to the original BPM of the track, which in this case is 140 BPM. Let's match the acapella to the beat so it's synced.
I want you to hold me.
You can check that with the metronome over here.
I want you to hold me.
And let's go for the chorus part, because that's the part I will be remixing.
You are my desire.
Okay, that sounds like it's on the beat like this. Now open up the sample and set the sample to stretch mode. And with this we can lower down the BPM by stretching it. So let's drag down the BPM of the project to 126. And now the vocal sample is stretched.
You are my desire.
Let's put this here, and now let's start with a bassline. I already loaded up a bunch of plugins and sounds that I want to use, as well as some samples. First of all, I want to create a bassline, and for this I'll be using an instance of Serum with the preset bass always, which is one of the presets in our Dimension pack. Just a really simple low subby tech house bass. I have a melody in my head for the bass, which kind of follows the vocal. Goes something like this.
You are my desire.
And let's put that in a pattern. Let's make these notes a little bit shorter so there's more room left. And I think I just want to loop this for the whole bar. However, I think these bass notes are a little bit too high. And when I put them down one octave, they are a little bit too low. So what I'm going to do is to pitch it down 2 semitones, which will go to A. But when I put it underneath the vocal, it doesn't sound right.
You are my.
It's out of key. And that's why I'm going to pitch down the vocal 2 semitones as well.
You are my desire.
I want to add an accent to the note that goes up, so the C. And for that, I'll be using this sound, which is more like a mid bass. And let's just put it on top of the C here. Now it feels more like it's jumping up. Let's go and process these basses. Let's start with the main bass. Add it to a mixer channel over here. Let's add a decapitator to add some harmonics. And an EQ to remove some of the high frequencies again. that. And let's add a kickstart for some basic side chaining. Let's select this shape. We'll tweak this once I have the kick drum ready, so we can like create a better distinction between the kick and the bass. Now the second, which is more like the top bass. For this one, I will just remove a lot of the low end because the main bass already has that low end in there. So until like 100 Hertz can be removed. Let's add an OTT, fatten it up a little bit. And this one can also use a kickstart. Now let's add a kick drum, which sounds like this. Let's loop it for a few bars. It's already a pretty nice kick drum, but I think we can add a little bit more distortion to it with Decapitator. Let's increase the drive. That's too much. Makes it a little bit more dirty. And let's lower down the level of it to hit around -6 dB. That will do. Now with the bassline. Let's put the vocal in a mixer channel as well. And let's add an EQ to remove some low frequencies if they're there. Not really. And let's add a kickstart, so it's like sidechained a little bit, not too much. Now let's start adding some drums, like a basic open head. Drag it in there, just on every offbeat. Then we can add a clap, like this one. The clap can use a little bit of reverb to add some room. Put it in the mixer channel, and let's use a Valhalla room. Just really low mix. Let's add this clap as well, which is more like a slappy. Now this is a really basic tech house drum loop. We can make this a little bit more interesting by adding another open head at every 4th or 8th open head, which I will use as an accent. A little bit longer one. I also bend it a little bit to the left. Let's add this top loop underneath it. And let's put it in a mixer channel and lower down the release of it with a transient processor. You can use this trick to like make your drums more snappy and tight. Lower down the release. Ableton also has a really nice function for this. And let's mix it in with the other drums. Let's add this shaker loop. And we can also add a transient processor on this one to to make it more tight. Let's also add this snare sound. Drag it in there, and let's use this to create some nice grooves again. Maybe put it a little bit offbeat to add some swing. Let's lower down the volume. Something like that. Let's copy this part here and then once again here for the second part of the drop. For the transition between the first and second part of the drop, I'm going to remove these 4 kicks, so you know that there's something coming. And now let's add some more sounds, like this percussion loop. In the second part of the drop, I also want to introduce a really short, snappy head loop, which I will create in the piano roll. I will use a closed head for this. And let's create a basic 1/16 note pattern. Like this. Let's tweak the velocity. And to add some swing, I'm going to use the second and the fourth note and put it a little bit off the beat. And this creates a swing effect. Nice skippy hi-hat. Let's copy it a bunch of times. And now let's put it into the playlist. Like so. Let's lower down the level a little bit. And let's also put this in a mixer channel and remove the low end. The foundation of the drop is ready. Now I want to add a few more things. The first thing I want to add is this really cool stab sound, which is a serum preset called Hot. I want to use a really low note to give the drop some more impact. Let's create a new pattern, pattern 3. Let's drag it in there and let's create pattern for it. Now let's process it a little bit, put it into a mixer channel here, add some EQ to remove the low end. Add an OTT to fatten it up. And let's add a kickstart to add some sidechaining. For the second part of the drop, I want to introduce a repeating lead sound, which sounds like this. Really detuned plug sound. And I want to use a rhythm or pattern that goes something like this. Maybe here. Let's create a pattern. Let's see how that sounds together with the other elements. Here. with the vocal. That can work. Let's repeat this 4 times and then put it here as well. Let's put it into a mixer channel so we can add some effects like EQ. Some side chaining. To make this plug a little bit more interesting, I'm going to automate the pitch bend of the serum. So we can create this effect. Let's go to tools, last tweaked, and then create automation clip. And now we can create an automation clip for the pitch bend of serum. And at the end of every bar or every 4 bars or so, I want the pitch to go up. Something like that. Sounds cool. Now let's add some effects like this vinyl noise sound to give it a more analog vibe. Let's loop it every 4 bars. Like this. And lower down the volume. Let's add a downlifter. Add some sidechain to it. And a uplifter for the transition part. Let's add a crash over here. And some random FX sounds. Like a synth effect. Another random effect sounds, this one, which can be used here. It sounds really weird, like a bubbly sound, but it works in tech house. And then put it here as well. Now I want to add an effect to the vocal, which you can hear in a lot of dance tracks nowadays, which is the gate effect. And that sounds something like this. Let's go to the mixer channel of the vocal. Let's add a gross beat with a 1/4 gate. You create this stuttery effect, and I want to use this, but not on the entire vocal. So I want to use it on some parts. I think this part here works well. The O ad-lib. So let's create a copy of this vocal, put it underneath it, and then we can like chop it up which parts we want to use the gate on. So let's select it over here and then here. So the above layer will be the main vocal, and then the second layer will be the vocal where there's a stuttery effect. So let's mute this here, and then the main vocal here. And then let's search for another part. Again, the O part will work well. Let's cut it right here as well. And then mute it again. So like this. Now it's offbeat. I don't know why. Let's put it back on there. Now let's make these samples unique so we can add different effects to them. Let's put both of them into a mixer channel. Like this. This will be the part where there's a gate applied. Let's first add some more effects like reverb and delay. So it goes on for a little bit longer. And then you can hear the gate a little bit better as well. Maybe a delay before it. And then a gross beat with a 1/4 gate. Increase the release. Now let's see how that sounds. Maybe decrease the mix a little bit. That sounds cool. And now we can copy this first part of the drop completely, because it's basically the same lyrics. And then copy it over here. The second part of the drop. I quickly created this build-up, which is just really simple. It has the vocal in there, the bass is playing, and a few drums like the heads and claps. There's a snare roll and some effects like uplifters and risers. And some filters are going on here to remove the low end. Some volume automations. Just really basic stuff. And then this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of me creating a tech house remix. If you have any questions about things I did in this video, then feel free to drop a comment and I will try to get back to you all on there and help you with your productions. For now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.